Do you desire to raise your children in the strong faith that you have as a Christian while forming habits of character and conduct? Perhaps all your past efforts seem to be not effective and working the way that you think them that they should be working. Maybe you find that when you are working to form habits, that it's actually causing the endless friction in your relationships. If that's the case, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Dollie Freeman. I'm a self-education expert using the Charlotte Mason method. And today, on today's episode, I'm going to be teaching you the evidence of an uninstructed conscience. In this episode, you are going to be learning three things: how the conscience works, the actions of an uninstructed conscience, as well as how to instruct the conscience. And before we get started, I want to share with you this quote, which can, in fact, be a bit discouraging depending on your current situation in your family. Charlotte Mason says, "A feeble will, bad habits, and an uninstructed conscience stick by many a Christian man through his life because his parents failed in their duty to them. And he has not had force enough in himself to supply their omission." What Charlotte Mason's saying here is that as a duty of a Christian parent, we must help our children have strong wills, not the strong will you're thinking of, but actually being able to make themselves do what they know they ought to do, to have good habits instead of bad, and then to be able to have an instructed conscience versus an uninstructed conscience, because in the end our children do not know how to do that for themselves. In fact, we as adults most of the time do not know how to do this for ourselves. So in today's episode, I'm going to talk to you about these key things that will help you to understand how to do this and how to help your children to go the right way and grow to fruitful purpose. Let's get started with number one: how the conscience works. The conscience is really the judge of your children. It is the very essence of them, how they learn what is right and what is wrong. And we need to be intentional in not only our own habits of helping our children to see that we ourselves are choosing to go the right way, but also helping them to understand through instruction what the right way is and what the wrong way is. And oftentimes we tell our children the right way, but we do not tell them the wrong way until, in fact, they're going the wrong way and they didn't have enough instruction to choose not to go that way. So it is a two-part system, but the conscience is, in fact, the key. It's the judge that's always sitting in the courtroom of a child, helping him or her understand what way is right and what way is wrong. And Charlotte Mason tells us that the will, the deciding factor, always does the verdict of the conscience. The will carries out the verdict of the conscience. So we can see how important it is for us to be able to take this as a key to parenting as well as homeschooling in order to raise our children with a strong Christian faith, noble character, and wholesome conduct. So if you haven't been instructing your children, like Charlotte Mason says, that it's the duty of the parent, and that when our children have an uninstructed conscience, feeble wills, and bad habits, we have failed them as parents. So if you are seeing some of these actions in your family, I want you to know it's because they are uninstructed consciences. So if they are constantly choosing the wrong thing, if you have told them time and time again not to do something and they continue to do it, that means the conscience must be instructed. It doesn't have enough information to decide what is right and what is wrong on their own. They need you to come in and tell them. The more we instruct that conscience to do it for themselves, the easier our job is, because remember, the will carry out the verdict of the conscience. They will not carry out the verdict of the parent if they're past that stage of and finding that they do, in fact, have a choice and they like to walk into their free will choice, which tells them to go the wrong way. So some of those actions is defiance. That tells you the conscience is not instructed. Things as throwing tantrums, having your children repeatedly being disobedient over one or two or more things. And then also choosing to pick up actions of others and that go the wrong way. So foolish actions of friends, foolish things they see on television or read in books. Those are key instruction or key evidence that it's an uninstructed conscience. The child does not know where to choose the right and wrong. Therefore, the will is going according to the conscience, and the uninstructed conscience tells them there's no consequences to go the wrong way. So how do you instruct the conscience? Well, Charlotte Mason tells us to influence our children by examples in novels and in history and in poetry and scripture, and to be able to put those things in front of our children that will help them to be instructed to know, okay, that consequence was not a very good consequence, so that must have been the wrong thing to do, or that consequence was a wonderful thing, so that must be a really good thing. And our curriculum that we supply to our children should in fact teach our children through instructing them with wholesome ideas of how to actually go the right way, and then also consequences in our own home, knowing what consequence they were going to get for going the right way or going the wrong way will also give the verdict that the conscience needs to instruct the will and let the will carry out the verdict. So these are key things that we need to be aware of. And the more we put our attention on instructing the conscience through supplying wholesome curriculum, you are going to find it much easier of raising your children with your strong faith and having them have noble character and wholesome conduct. But it's all through that wholesome curriculum that you provide to them. Now, I have something special I would like to share with you. It's the membership that is now opened and available to you. It's the Instructed Conscience. You can go to theinstructedconscience.com to learn more. It is a monthly membership that first forms that foundation of a Christian family government. These are four things: authority, obedience, habits, and healthy relationships. These four very necessity foundations are something you will go back to time and time again. And then on top of those family Christian government, you are going to be building 7 foundational habits. These 7 foundational habits are things that are missing out of almost every parental guide out there. These are the things that will help your children take ownership of their own habits and to be able to understand what they look like and how you can become a friendly ally to your children. And then the next phase of the membership is where I get excited. And this is where I alternate months from faith to character to conduct, where I provide you with those instructions from to instruct your children's conscience from novels and history and poetry and scriptures and all the good things that Charlotte Mason says. I give you all those resources so that you do not have to plan those wholesome curriculums. And each month I have deliverables from a video that you can do together as a family that walks you through scriptures on the topic for the month. And then in addition to that, I give you a parental toolkit that helps you have discussions with your children based on the different educational path that they're on. And then you will also be able to have an expectation kit that helps you implement that faith, character, and conduct with a step-by-step method that takes all the guesswork out of you for you and your children. Beautiful cards that you can reference at any time that you need a refresher. And then also, you'll be getting what I love to call an influential examples. This is where they can easily become collectibles to your children, where I highlight one person and who has demonstrated that faith, character, or conduct in a wonderful way, highlighted one of their quotes, and then also gave you resources on the back to help you narrow in on those ways to instruct your children's conscience and your own. Then the bonus delivery for that month is lesson plans based on that. So I walk you through how to actual step by step plans of how to actually put them into place in your family's curriculum. So this can be something that you do as an entire family and then break up the discussions based on your children's educational path. I'm so excited for you to be able to have access to the member. So check it out at instructedconscience.com. And when you get there, you'll be able to decide if you want monthly or annual. Everyone who picks monthly or annual will get the bonuses delivered each month of the lesson plans. But you have to be an active member that month to get that month's lesson plan, which means if you join next month, you do not get last month's or this month's lesson plans. So you have to be active during the month that the topic goes out in order for you to get the lesson plans. So they're the deliverable bonuses. But as an annual bonus, you get beautiful and very useful cards. One are character and conduct parental cue kits that will help you to be able to quickly and easily give your children ownership over their own education and habits. So this will give you the cues, the scripture for what to give to them, and then how to walk it where they're taking ownership through self-examination. And then the other cards are a set of consequences from 24 most popular common problems in families so that you can just eliminate that emotional decision and have predetermined consequences based on the different actions that go on in the family so that you can quickly enforce a predetermined consequence and help your children to choose to go the right way and grow to fruitful purpose. I'm so excited about this complete membership that is ready for you to implement and take action. It is a month-to-month membership, meaning you can cancel at any time. There's a lot of resources broken up into 3 phases. Again, the first phase is your family Christian government that will help you set that government in place with the authority, obedience, habits, and relationship. And then the next phase is 7 trainings on the foundation of habit formations. These are 7 things that most people do not realize are necessary for habit formations. And then you move into phase 3, where I call them influential ideas. And I help you to sow ideas of faith, character, and conduct into your children through curriculum, as well as scripture. Go check it out. And I love to welcome you in because the 3rd of every month, we will be having conscience calls, 3 p.m. on the 3rd Thursday of every month. You can pre-submit a question to reserve a slot for your own personalized coaching based on one problem that you're experiencing in your family. And I can help you to be able to overcome that with a structured call and worksheet that will help you identify the problem and the solution and the steps that need to happen to get that eliminated and new habits in place. I look forward to helping you form one habit at a time while taking a feeble will, making it strong to go the right way and grow to fruitful purpose by instructing the conscience. Until next time, bye for now. I'll see you in the next show.